it's Victoria for SlurpVision. I'm here with Tom Portet, wine ambassador for Penfolds and 10th generation winemaker from Australia. So thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thank you for having me, Victoria.
And first we're going to be tasting some Penfolds fortified wines, which is a bit unusual. I've not actually had very many fortified wines from Australia. Can you tell us about the history behind that?
Yeah, essentially Penfolds has actually a very long history since 1844 making fortifieds. Basically an English doctor, Dr. Penfold, came out from from London and started his vineyard. Really, we've been making fortifieds since the very beginning, and it's quite interlinked with the British, who really started the port trade and drove and commercialised the port wines.
In Portugal,
and
then brought it to Australia as well.
So the English came out and wanted, or the British, and wanted their port wines. So, of course, Penfolds were all too happy to make them and have been ever since.
Excellent. But because it's not actually made in Portugal, you're not able to call it port, is that right?
Yeah, correct. So we call them fortifieds up until the 1990s, obviously with EU law. So we'll be tasting 3 Tawnies, so aged ports or fortifieds. Fortification, it's just a process where we, halfway through fermentation, we add an alcohol to the wine, which stops fermentation, so you have a little bit of sugar left over from the grapes, and you also have a higher alcohol, and usually we're sourcing pretty strong grapes or fruit so that you get a pretty intense and very warming wine.
Yeah, how does the Solera system fit into this?
Yeah, so Solera we use basically to blend the wines in a way. We take the Solera system, it's pretty much like a triangle of barrels. We take it off the bottom, basically that goes into the bottle, and then the wine from the barrel cascades down through. So we put our youngest wines at the top, and as you take it off the bottom, it all comes down.
So you get a blend of everything, and that's probably why they're not from a particular vintage.
Yeah,
right?
so
it's just a blend of all the vintages.
Exactly.
And how far do they span in terms of aging of what you find in the barrel?
So exactly, we batch ferment basically, or we batch blend on the 2 grandfathers for 8 years, and then it goes into the Solera. The Bluestone is just a typical blend, but only 10 to 15 years, whereas the 2 grandfathers are up to 20 years plus.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what about the grape varieties involved in the fortifieds in Australia?
Being Australia, we typically use, we're looking for concentration of fruit, and that typically comes for us in the Barossa Valley from Shiraz, and that's got the longevity behind it. And then we use a lot of Mourvedre, or what we call Mataro, and then some Grenache and some Cabernet, which adds some palate feel and some structure, which is quite nice.
So definitely different grape varieties from Portugal altogether. Same system, same method, but different grape varieties.
Absolutely. We try to think it's our own style these days, so
No need to call it port then.
Yeah, exactly. Australian fortified. And we're very proud of them, obviously, because we think they stack up pretty nicely.
Excellent. Well, I'm very much looking forward to trying these wines with you. So please click through the bottles that you see for a tasting review by Tom and myself.